We have Swinub Community Day Classic coming out to Pokemon Go, so we're going to check out the $1 quest line and Mamoswine in Best of the Best to see what is going to be worth your time, money, effort. Are you going to power it up? Or are you going to spend the dollar in Pokemon Go? So welcome to the Trader Club. Here we go. Welcome back. Are you guys excited about this Comm Day Classic? Because Swinub is gracing us for this day. So it's gonna be 3 hours. If you guys want the full tips, you guys can check that out up here. I would suggest checking out after this video. And if you guys are here after the Comm Day and you're like, I don't need to know if this dollar quest line is worth it or not, just check the timestamps and jump all the way into the Best of the Best where we talk about Mamoswine, PIloswine, and PvP. We also check it out as a meta raid attacker because Mamoswine did get the brand new moveset of high horsepower, which previously was really only an exclusive move to Ursaluna, but now it is on the Mamoswine, so that's pretty cool. Not only that, let's start off with the $1 quest line and see if it's going to be worth your time, energy, and resources. So the field research that's going to be going on during the day is going to be catch 3 Swinubs, which can give you a Swinub encounter. 317 will be the 100% IV, and that's why in my tip videos I always encourage you guys to be in a downtown area where you can reach more than just your local stops, so you can keep completing field research that can get you high IV shinies. But not only that, you have the ability to get 1 Sinnoh Stone as an alternate reward, 5 Great Balls, or 2 Ultra Balls, or 2 Pineapple Berries, or 500 Stardust. So get out there and do a lot of field research. But now let's switch gears and check out, is this $1 quest line going to be worth your time, energy, and resources? What are going to be the things that you do get in here? And is it going to yield you what $1 is going to cost at Pokemon Go? Let's check it out right now. And then we are going to have in stage number 1, power up a Pokemon 10 times for a Swinub encounter. Just remember 317 is the 100% IV. Catch 15 Swinub for a Swinub encounter. We're going to be making 5 nice throws for 15 Pokeballs. Then we have the 3000 Stardust. We have the Swinub encounter again, and we have the incense. And then in stage number 2, we're going to catch 15 Swinubs for another Swinub encounter, 317 once again. Transfer 10 Pokemon for 10 Pineapple Berries. Evolve 3 Swinub for 30 Swinub Candy, and then we're going to get 4500 XP. We're going to get a Swinub encounter, and then we're going to get a Lucky Egg. In stage number 3, we're going to have make 3 Great Curveball throws for 15 Great Balls. Evolve 1 PIloswine for 50 Swinub Candies. Catch 15 Swinubs for a Swinub encounter, and then we're going to get 4500 Stardust, a PIloswine encounter, and 1 Rocket Radar. And then we're going to have claim rewards 3 times for 2 Silver Pineapple Berries. We're going to get another Swinub encounter, 15 Ultra Balls, and 5500 XP, a Mamoswine encounter, and 3 Rare Candies. And then the 100% IV for the PIloswine is going to be 1005 at the level 15, and Mamoswine will be 1426. And then let's not forget the limited research, where you will be able to get Sinnoh Stones. You have power up a Pokemon 10 times. Remember, if you want to save some Stardust, you power up level 1 Pokemon 4 times, and then you go to another level 1. You can do each one 4 times to keep it at 800 Stardust, 4 power-ups to make it ultra efficient. Catch 1 Swinub for another Sinnoh Stone, make 5 nice throws for another Sinnoh Stone, and then for the grand total rewards, you get a 4th Sinnoh Stone, another Swinub encounter, and 3000 XP. So do make sure you check the research tab on the right and the today tab on the left to complete all of these research, to get your guys the paid research if you do go up for it, and then also the free Sinnoh Stones, which will give you a grand total of 4. Alrighty, so as I do talk about always, I think it's $1. It's a very easy thing to do. I know some of you guys may not be spending money on Pokemon Go, which is totally cool because this quest line doesn't really make or break the day for you, because what does do that is going to be your effort and the energy that you put into it. And being outside with the community is always fun, and I love Comm Days. It's one of my favorite things to do in Pokemon Go. So Swinub, make sure to get out there, and it's 3 times catch Stardust, which is one of the best bonuses in the game. Alright, so now we're going to switch over into Mamoswine as a meta raid attacker and see how this Pokemon does do, and then we'll change over into PvP. So Mamoswine is going to be a ground and an ice type Pokemon. This Pokemon will max out at 3763, so it's pretty high up there, especially for an ice type attacker. It has an attack of 247, a defense of 146, and a stamina of 242. So unfortunately the defense isn't crazy high. And this Pokemon, as far as its strengths and weaknesses go, so it has 5 weaknesses, which are going to be water, steel, grass, fire, and fighting. This Pokemon is going to double resist electricity because of that ground typing, and single resist poison, which is quite cool. As far as the movesets go, its fast moves will be Powder Snow as well as Mud Slap. Powder Snow is definitely going to be one of the more recommended movesets, but it does get a ground Mud Slap that can contribute to double stab bonus for that ground typing. And then as far as its charge moves go, it gets High Horsepower, it gets Stone Edge, it gets Avalanche, Bulldoze, and then the Comm Day move of Ancient Power. So is Ancient Power good on this Pokemon? We're going to find out here in 1 second. So now let's switch gears and go into the DPS times TDO, which is going to be averaged into a value called the ER value, to see over the lifespan of this Pokemon while fighting what is going to be the best moveset, and then we'll check it out as an ice and a a ground attacker. Obviously, this Pokemon does come in a shadow form, so Mudslap and Avalanche is actually the most highest produced ER value move and moveset combination that we can get. In second place, we do have the Powder Snow and Avalanche at 43.16, and this is going to be in the shadow form, and then Mudslap and High Horsepower at 42.85. So right off the bat, as a shadow Pokemon, guys, this is looking mighty good. Remember, if it's above a 40 value here, that means that this Pokemon can definitely shake up categories, especially in non-dragon psychic categories, because there's a lot more potential to be able to overtake the throne here. But let's keep going. Without the shadow form, Mudslap and Avalanche is 38.76, so not quite as strong there. Mudslap and High Horsepower, 37.17. And then if we go to the second page, because I do want to show you guys another thing, regular Mamoswine with Mudslap and Stone Edge is 31.53. With the Ancient Power, Mudslap Ancient Power at 27.93. So as a rock attacker, it is not super relevant. So man, that shadow form is mighty, mighty powerful. That's why anytime you can fight a ground type Pokemon and it could potentially be a Mamoswine from a Rocket Grunt, I always suggest that you guys do it because of how beastly that Pokemon is. But now let's check out the ground category, and then we'll check out the ice category and see where shadow and regular Mamoswine do sit. From a ground standpoint, Primal Groudon at the top, obviously at 58.15 with Precipice Blades. Then we have the Mega Garchomp, which is not out yet, but at 50.59. Then we have Groudon at 43.17, followed by the Shadow Mamoswine that's not too much further behind it at 42.85, which is extremely impressive. Then we go into the Mega Swampert, 40.22, Garchomp, 38.78, Landorus, 38.25, Shadow Golurk, 37.34, and then regular Mamoswine at 37.17, which is actually really well ranked, even close to that Garchomp right there. So obviously in the ground category, we're looking at Primals and Megas that are going to be at the top, but the first available besides the Groudon, non-legendary, which means it doesn't require the premium paid XL candy, is going to be that Shadow Mamoswine, which is extremely impressive from an attacker standpoint. So this Pokemon, even as a regular Mamoswine, is pretty impressive. The only other budget counter that we do have up there is Garchomp with the Earth Power, and that is the Comm Day move that Pokemon did get. That Pokemon is an absolute monster, and it is definitely powerful, and it's a little bit more resistance of a Pokemon than is this specific Pokemon, including a triple resistance to electricity. But still pretty good options. We're gonna have a lot of candy and a lot of XL candy, and you could even get Luckies and so forth. But if you do have the Shadow and a good IV one, this one is definitely one of the high contenders that I suggest you guys power up when it is gonna be worth it. But now let's check it out in the ice category and see where it does stack up. Number one ice overall, not out yet, is gonna be the Galarian Zen Mode Darmanitan at 46.38. And then in the second spot, we have the first available Pokemon, Shadow Mamoswine at 43.16, which is very, very impressive. Shadow Weavile, not too far behind, but I don't like that Pokemon as much because of how glassy it is, but it's a 39.39. Then we have the Galarian Darmanitan at 37.87, so that's going to be a non-premium. And then right after that, we have 37.07 at the regular Mamoswine, which actually as a regular Mamoswine sits above the Mega Glalie, Mega Abomasnow, Glaceon, Weavile, and then also the Shadow Articuno. So another very impressive placing for this type of Pokemon, and especially since some of the dragon type attackers like the Rayquaza is going to be double weak to ice, these Pokemon are very, very useful when that comes out. But once again, the Shadow is better than the regular, but the regular you can get lucky and you can power it up for a much cheaper amount of Stardust. So that's always something to consider. But both of these Pokemon, Shadow and regular, in both of their respective categories are highly encouraged to power up, but I would suggest waiting until they are valuable and not powering up and just sitting on them with all that Stardust invested in a Pokemon and not putting it to any use. Which now let's lead us into the PvP. So as far as PIloswine goes, in the Great League, it's going to be 168 as the regular or the Shadow at 191 with Powder Snow, Avalanche, and High Horsepower. And then in the Ultra League, 128 for the Shadow and 137 for the non-Shadow. So the Shadow actually, when it gets higher, does a little bit better than does the countered non-Shadow, which is pretty cool. And that one will actually take 296 XL candy if it's the regular, or 360 XL candy if it's the Shadow, at a level 50 at a 5-15-12 to max it out, to optimize it for the Ultra League, which is a pretty expensive mon to not be in the top 50 to be able to go after. So I suggest probably not going after that Pokemon. But now let's check out the Mamoswine. In the Great League, it's 276 for the regular or 345 for the Shadow, so non-relevance for sure. In the Ultra League, 217 for the Shadow and 222 for the non-Shadow. Once again, not relevant, and I would suggest not powering it up. But in the Master League, 23 for the regular and 36 for the Shadow at moveset of Powder Snow, Avalanche, and High Horsepower. At no point ever in this Pokemon's existence is Ancient Power a recommended moveset. Could it be an off-typing moveset that could do some damage? Yes. Could people not expect it? Yes. Would I suggest running it? Probably not, because these other movesets are more powerful. So, multi-purposing a Mamoswine as a meta attacker and a GBL Pokemon is a perfect combination in here if it fits well for your team. So, that's everything. Mamoswine is in a A++. I love this Pokemon, especially in the Shadow form for raid battles. And the regular one does very good as well for raid battles and very good in GBL Master League. So thank you guys for tuning in as always. To all of my likers, commenters, subscribers, Patreon members, everybody takes their support, subscription, participation to excellence. See you guys out in the next video. Peace. I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.